DSP Russell joins me for another important conversation, Police and You, on this Thursday morning. Officer Russell, great to see you.
It's great to be here. Pleasant good morning to Trinidad Tobago on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioners, and First and Second Division Officers of the Trinidad Tobago Police Service.
Indeed. Well, at least today we are treating with community policing. I saw in the news last night your colleagues in Tobago making their rounds, visiting the schools, engaging with the students on a more community policing level. And I would imagine, this whole concept of community policing, nothing new. It's a phrase we've grown accustomed to. I think it's one of the most important elements to build that bridge between residents and a police station and officers to kind of keep that rapport in a cordial and I would say progressive manner.
Well, you would have described everything about the community policing there. I mean, it means you have a proper grasp and understanding of the community policing. You know, we talk about the Peelian principles, where Sir Robert Peel said that the people are the police and the police are the people. You know, that community-oriented policing comes together and takes the policing to the community to really help resolve not only just hard crime, but more social issues, the social aspects of crime, such as, the parent who have to go to work and unable to look over their child properly. You know, we step in and have that community fellowship, that community gathering and togetherness, coming together as one community, because every community may have different policing needs and problems. I recently had a town meeting in the Western Division, and you would be surprised to see how many persons living in the same community but have different policing needs. One person find that they wanted more patrols. Another person find that there were persons blocking the pavement with carts and selling burgers. And the woman, one of the people who was there, they are one of the persons who was selling burgers. So she, at the same time, that individual is asking for police presence. And next gentleman, he said he wants us to help them come up with something that identifies their vehicle within their communities, because that individual has had his vehicle wrecked from in front of his own house. So it just focuses on different policing needs. And when we go to something called like crime prevention through environmental designs, things that like street lights, the need for street lights, because it may have overgrown lots, it will have dark areas, it may have parks that need lighting, because light is a deterrent to crime. Because it starts with an underutilized park without lights, and then the guys start to gather. This now create a cover for them to do illegal activities. So rather than reach down to that, let's just light up the parks.
What happens when your colleagues within the TTPS will have to, let's say, conduct exercise in the community and bring a more hardline approach to policing? Because obviously if you have to effect an arrest or treat with a matter, I guess you have to come in with that particular stern approach. Walk me through the fallout when stuff like that takes place and you come back now to the community to explain what would have transpired.
All right, so let me tell you, if the community policing is done well, then by way of neighborhood watch groups, by way of collaboration between them and us, by way of partnering, we could nip these things in the bud. So there will be no need for the hardline policing, because we could now say, well, we see this particular person's son or daughter going on a particular road, so we could look at the police youth club. We could look at the Hearts and Mind programs. We have things like the station councils. We have things like the town meeting where we go to the community. So if that operates and functions well, we will have very little, if any, need for the hardline policing. However, where there's a need for the hardline policing, because there are some persons who may just be hell-bent on doing what they want, we go in there, we are stern, but we are respectful. Stern, but respectful. We want to respect your rights, treat you with dignity, treat you with respect. It's not about humiliating the individual. You must have an appreciation for what you do. And I'll tell you this, there have been times during my career where I would have arrested persons and they commended me for the way that I treated them.
While affecting the arrest?
While affecting the arrest.
Let me ask you though, is every officer under this community policing umbrella, or is it just certain officers within the charge room would sign up for this? Is this something that is common knowledge in the service?
That's a great question. Now, we do have a community-oriented police section, cops. However, what we try to foster is that every officer must be a community police officer. And it starts simple thing as with your customer service. Because just implementing the aspects of customer service, indirectly or directly, you are indeed exercising the tenets of community policing. Just in how you display yourself, how you speak to the person, your mannerism, your tone, your pitch, your volume, your rhythm, of how you communicate and disseminate your information, or that interaction between you and that individual that comes to your station to make that report or whatever.
Understood. I mean, it's not been my experience. I mean, I've had nothing but respectful interactions with the officers, but obviously there are many who say that the interaction leaves much to be desired. Sometimes the officers come in very sharp. They approach a bit stern, a little too stern. And I guess there's that kind of back and forth, and things kind of go downhill from there, unfortunately.
Well, let me give the public some advice, right? I know at times we may be emotional because we're also human beings. But I would tell you this, Jason. We need to start with ourselves first, as the police and as the public. So a taxi driver wants to drive down the shoulder and find the police mustn't tell them anything. And then Trinidad and Tobago has this way they like to categorize crime. So you stop him for driving on the shoulder, and I'm just drawing an example. You stop him for driving on the shoulder, and his first thing is, why you gonna run down the road, criminal men killing people out there? Where were you last night when I get robbed? Of course, when you start with that tone, some police officers may respond in a like manner. No, yes, we are professionals and we should not descend into the arena. However, we are human beings first. And at times we do get it wrong, and I apologize to everybody in Trinidad and Tobago who would have feel that way or would have been spoken down to by a police officer.
I appreciate that. That's first time I really hear you accept that whole accountability really, and because I mean, as you say, and the officers come from the community too, so we have to remember that. But I want to ask you this though, before we wrap up. We have literally about 2 minutes. I'm watching all the developments with the top brass, with the leaking, as it were, of certain information, the tension or the perceived tension. What's the feeling right now with the top brass? What's the mood within the upper echelons of the service?
Well, let me tell you firstly, my organization is a rank-based organization where discipline is one of the most important things. We are not about getting into our feelings. And I know you are speaking about the leave incident. Most of us would have acquired leave above the threshold. I have approximately 5 months leave. I mean, and I am trying to take steps to reduce same, but not only just that, but mental health issues is something very important as well. So we want to encourage persons, But then when you look at it, we have a couple of SOEs where leave is restricted and stuff like that. But our organization, though we may have our differences, is still one Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. People say teeth and tongue would clash from time to time, but it's one Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So there is no tension as far as I know. There's no tension, there's a oneness, and every now and then, any good manager who runs an organization and responsible for distribution and redistribution of his human resources could do that, just that.
Understood. Thanks a lot for the candor. As always, the police and youth segment, Officer Russell touching base. God spare we'll get a chance to do it again next week, that first Thursday in October. All right, until... what I can say?
Next week.
Yeah, next week. Yes, until next week. We get it ready for the 7 a.m. news update. Much more after 7. See you soon.